Hi guys, how's it going? It's me, Megan, and I am back with another video. If you guys are new to my channel, I'm a full-time reseller on Poshmark and a few other platforms, but mostly Poshmark. And here on YouTube, I like to make reseller content. I'll do what sold videos like this, I'll do unboxings, I'll do hauls, I'll do all that good stuff. So if that is something you guys are interested in, please make sure to like and subscribe, and that way you'll never miss one of my videos. So you could probably see, I told you guys in my last video that I'm on a Kermit kick, and this is one of the things I bought from Disneyland. Kermit sweatshirt, and hopefully I'm not banging this mic around again. Still perfecting the mic, but yeah. Okay, so in today's video, I'm going to be going over my best sales that I had in November. So from last month really was pretty quiet. I didn't have too many sales in general. Things kind of slowed down for some reason, but luckily, at least recently, things have been picking up a lot more, which is great. I've been trying to post a lot more, get to the bins, and kind of get things listed in bulk to try and catch the end of Christmas sales and, you know, get ready to sell stuff for the new year. But I thought, why not tell you guys the best sales that I had last month, because they're still pretty recent, and I don't think I shared all my sales from last month with you guys. But I think a lot of these I probably already covered. But if you are just interested in my better price sales, then this is the video for you guys. My normal What Sold Sundays, I just go through pretty much everything I sold during the week. So anyway, I'm going to start with the items in the $40 range. I only had 5. I sold this packed dress. This was the first time I'd picked up this brand to resell. I think I've seen it quite often, but I never thought much of it until I heard another reseller saying that they love to sell it. So I saw this at a local Goodwill to me, so I picked it up for $10. It was a bit of a risk, but it was really cute. And it sold pretty quickly. It sold for $40, and after fees, I made $29.98. So I'm not sure if I'd pay up for that brand again, but if I saw it at the bins or for less money somewhere, I probably would. Then I sold this vintage Michael Simon sweater. I didn't really pick it up based on brand. I picked it up based on style. It was at the bins, and I thought it was really cool, like a swirl retro pattern. It sold for $40, and after fees, I made $32. Then I sold this pair of Levi's made and crafted men's jeans. These were made in Italy, so I made sure to put that in the title. These sold pretty quickly and for a good amount, even though they actually were hemmed. I did mention that in the listing. I didn't know until I took measurements, but they were hemmed well, which was good. They ended up selling for $45, and I was really happy about that because, again, I spent about $10 on them at a Salvation Army that's pretty close to me that I very rarely go to. But I thought, why not stop in? They sold for $45, and after fees, I made $36. Next, I sold this vintage laundry by Shelley Segal maxi velvet dress. This I've had for 2, maybe 3 years. I got this in a bulk box a long time ago when I was still living in Portland. I got 2 of these dresses. One sold very quickly. This one took, again, 2-3 years to sell. Finally sold on Depop for $40, and after fees, I made $33.89. And the last sale I had in the $40 range last month was also on Depop. This pair of vintage Plazo, I believe is how you pronounce the brand, pink Barbie bow heels. These got a ton of attention. I picked these up in like the middle of the Barbie craze. I want to say I paid about $10 for these at a Savers. So still pretty much paying up for them, even though at the Savers I do like to go to where I got these, I don't have any phone service, so I really can't comp anything. It looked like a pretty good brand, but I couldn't really find much about it, so I did still sell them based on style. Took a few months to sell, but they sold on Depop for $45, and after fees I made $38.07. And they were teeny tiny size. They were like a 5.5, so very small. Then in the $50 range, I had 8 sales. I sold this pair of Birkenstock ballet flats. Again, I got these at a Savers. They were probably marked up to like $12, maybe $15, because they mark things up, especially brands that everyone knows like Birkenstocks. But I thought these were really interesting. I'd never seen something like these, and Birkenstocks usually sell pretty well. These did take a little while to sell, but they finally sold for $50, and after fees I made $40. Next was this new attack pair of Abercrombie & Fitch pink Sloane trousers in a size 16. This specific type of trouser from Abercrombie & Fitch, the Sloane trouser, is very popular, especially like on TikTok. And these were new tags. I got really lucky and found these at a local Goodwill. So again, paid about $10 for them. They sold pretty quickly. They sold for 52, and after fees, I made 41.60. Next, I sold this new to me brand. It was called Mercy, and it was a striped sweater. I actually found this brand for the first time at the bins, and then a few days later, I found this piece at a local thrift store. So I was really excited because the piece I found at the bins was like terry cloth, very beachy. This was definitely more appropriate for the season. I listed it high. I think this piece might still have been for sale on their website, but comps are a little bit all over the place for this brand. But it actually sold really quickly. They offered me 55 and I accepted, and after fees I made 44. Then I sold this new tag, Trina Turk cape dress. This one was really cool. Again, very Barbie pink. This came in those bulk boxes, if you guys remember, that I posted a few months ago now. This was new tags, and Trina Turk is like kind of hit or miss for me. I love her pieces, and they are very expensive to begin with, but I don't have the best of luck reselling this. So I was really happy when it did sell. It sold for 52, and after fees I made 38.62. Next, I sold this pair of Vince Camuto suede tall boots. I laugh because I also have had these for a very long time. Um, they came in a, I think it was from Helpsy Source, some sort of mixed winter boot box. I think I officially have one pair left from that box. I finally sold the Uggs that were in them, not for much. Each boot cost about $13, and some I did profit on pretty well. But again, I've had these for probably 2 or 3 years, probably not 3 years, but definitely 2 years. They sold for 50, and after fees I made 40. I wouldn't pick up that brand again. In general, I just don't really like that brand. Then I sold this Celtic black cardigan. This is one of those vintage Irish knit cardigans that do pretty well. I think they do better in the cream color, but I saw this at a Savers and they only had like $4 or $5 on it, and I had a 20% off coupon. So I did pick it up. I wasn't sure how it was going to do, but it sold pretty quickly on Depop for $59.50, and after fees I made $50.51. Then I sold this vintage lace tie front blouse. I got this at a local Goodwill. It was a size 24W, which was part of the reason why I picked it up, but really it was just based on style, very, lacy. It was vintage, Victorian, romantic. I used all those terms. And it sold, I think, within a couple of days on Depop. Sold for 50, and after fees I made 42.52, and I'm not sure how much long sleeves are at my Goodwill, but probably like $8 or $9 because they're crazy. Then the last thing I sold in the $50 range was this Banana Republic men's wool cashmere coat. This did have some flaws to it, mostly just dirt and discoloration on the collar, but I got this at the bins, and it did sell pretty quick, I'd say. I didn't list it up too high, again, because it had all those flaws, but it still ended up selling on eBay for 50, and after fees I made 39.53. Then in the $60 range, I had for sales this Veronica Beard V-neck sweater. This was really cute. I love selling Veronica Beard. Don't find it very often. This actually came again in one of those bulk boxes that I received, and I was super excited. It ended up selling for 60 on Poshmark, and after fees I made 48. Then I sold this new tag, Ralph Lauren 3X featherweight jacket. This I only really picked up because it was new tags and a really good size. I've been picking up Ralph Lauren more, but I usually only pick it up at the bins. This I did pick up at a local Goodwill, so again, probably like $10 or $11 I paid for that. Again, sold really quickly for 60, and after fees I made 48. Then I sold this Icebreaker wool quarter zip woman's pullover. I love finding Icebreaker and Smart Wool. I haven't found it in a really long time, but there were a few pieces I found probably like in the summer at the bins this year. So I pick up stuff year round. I always say it's not going to be there in the winter when you want to sell it, so I pick it up and I list it. And yeah, it finally ended up selling. It sold for $67.50 on eBay, and after fees I made $48.61, and I did get that at the bins. And then the last thing I sold was another new to me brand that I hadn't heard of. It's called Embody, spelled Imbodhi. It was a black like athletic jumpsuit. I found this at a local Goodwill, and comps are really great. I think originally it's like 120 something dollars, and for whatever reason it's very trendy. It's made in San Francisco, so I'm not surprised that I found it here in the East Bay. Again, spent about $10 on it. And yeah, it sold pretty quickly. I was hoping to get a little bit more, but when someone offered me 65 on eBay, I decided to accept. And after fees, I made 57.71. All right, now getting into things in the 70 plus dollar range. I sold these Swedish has-been clogs. This was super exciting. I had never found this brand before. Definitely something that was on my BOLO list. And I got these at my local Goodwill. They didn't mark them up that high. I think they were only like $12, which isn't that high for shoes around here. And I brought them home. I didn't really know what to list them at. I couldn't find this exact style, and comps were a little mixed. They're definitely more of a summer shoe. But I listed them, I think, for 99, and I think within like a few minutes or an hour, I got an offer of 75 and I accepted. And after fees, I made 60. Then I sold this pair of Mother ankle jeans. I love selling Mother. Again, I don't really find it very often, but I found it probably more at the bins than I have anywhere else, which is just very lucky on my part. I just don't think people really know that brand, which, makes me happy because then I could pick it up. But this pair I did find at the bins, sold for 70, and after fees I made 56. Then I found this Burton pink snowboarding jacket in a size women's extra large also at the bins. Someone had thrown this back, and I love finding Burton, especially at the bins. I'm willing to pay up for it, even if it's heavier weight, because I can usually get a really good price for it. Not all Burton is made the same. I usually stick to either their newer pieces or their more modern, substantial pieces, because I've gotten other pieces in the past that don't sell as well, or sweaters and such, but this did sell for 72, and after fees I made 55.58. Next, I sold this new tag pair of North Face snowboarding pants. These I got at a local thrift store. I didn't know they were new with tag at the time, and neither did the thrift store, because otherwise they would have marked it at like $70, but they were 16, and when I got home and checked the pockets, the tag was still attached and in one of them, so I was very grateful to whoever put it in the pocket. I think I paid 16 for them. They sold for 70, and after fees I made 56. Then I sold another new tag piece, this pair of LaFleur trousers. They were a size 14, and these took like a year to sell. I'm not sure why. I've relisted them a few times, but this time when I relisted them, someone made me an offer of 75 and I accepted, and after fees I made 60. Again, paid about $10 for them at a Goodwill. And yeah, I don't know why these took so long. There was a couple of LaFleur dresses I had received or had gotten at the same Goodwill, and those sold within a couple of days, and they were a size 0. But then I also have a skirt from them that I got in my THREDUP bulk boxes that isn't getting much attention. So I think maybe their dresses do better than their other pieces, but you'll have to let me know if you've sold that brand before and what you think. Then I sold this new tag Banana Republic poplin dress. This I did take a bit of a risk on. I got this at a local Savers. They also priced their stuff up really high. But I had a 20% off coupon, and I really loved this dress when I saw it in the aisle. I saw that it was Banana Republic and it was new with tags, so I thought I'd take the risk. I think it was like $18, but then I got 20% off, so it was like 15 or 16. I think I just got really lucky with the right buyer because it was also an extra small petite, but it was super modern, really gorgeous. Ended up selling for $89 on Poshmark, and after fees I made $69.18. Then I sold this pair of Anine Bing trousers. These were like the Becky trouser or something. I only remember that because that's my sister's name. And I found these at the bins. I was so excited. I have never seen this brand before, never found it to resell, and of course, finding it at the bins makes it that much better. And luckily, they were in really good condition. They sold for 70 on eBay, and after fees, I made 54.87. Then I sold another new to me brand. It was called Sugar Thrills, and it was sold on, well, that brand is sold on Dolls Kill website, Dolls Kill, something like that. Um, the Sugar Thrills brand makes a lot of corset dresses that are pretty trendy. I think I just happened to find one that was like especially sought after because it had a lot of details. I got this again at a local Goodwill. It was a size large. I thought it was interesting. Corset dresses, especially the teeny tiny micro mini ones, are very trendy. So when I do see those out, I will look up the brand and comp them. And I've had really good luck doing that. This sold pretty quickly for 70 on eBay, and after fees, I made 65.41. Then I sold another new to me brand. This pair of Orslow, I believe is how it's pronounced, either that or OR Slow. They're a Japanese men's jean brand. I think they might only sell jeans. I'm not sure. But I found these in the women's section of a local Goodwill, spent about $10 on them. And yeah, the comps looked really good. I got a lot of attention on these across all platforms. I do think if they were a blue jean, that they would have sold better, but that's what I found, a pair of white jeans. They still sold really well. They sold for 85 on Poshmark, and after fees I made 68. Then I sold two cardigans from the same brand. I found these on the same day, again, at a local Goodwill. So again, spent about $10 on each of them. They're called, well, the brand's called First Right, RITE, and I believe they're both called the Seed Cardigan. They weren't in perfect condition. They were both a size small. One was a cream color and had stains on it. The other was just brown. Still listed them both really high, and these pieces also got a ton of attention. I ended up selling the cream one first on an offer of 82, and after fees I made 65.60. Then the brown one sold not long after for an offer of 105 on Poshmark, and after fees I made 84. So definitely a brand to keep an eye out for. Again, I think these sweaters were a little bit more of a sought after style from that brand, but I would be really excited again if I saw this brand out in the wild. Then just two more sales. I sold this new tag Kate Spade gold tone chain necklace. This was a piece I received in a THREDUP mixed jewelry box. From time to time when I see them posted, I will get them because you can usually get some pretty good stuff. In general, I've gotten a lot of really good jewelry from THREDUP through their fun boxes, so I thought why not get their jewelry box. And yeah, this piece was in it. I think the tag said it was like originally 200, and it ended up selling on Poshmark for 108, and after fees I made 84.38. And the best sale I had last month was actually this J. Crew men's Ludlow blazer. Their Ludlow style is apparently really popular. It's spelled Ludlow. And this was actually a really small size. It was a 34 short, and that's like the smallest size that you can list a blazer on for men, at least on Poshmark. So I was a little bit worried that that would detract buyers from it, but I do think I do well with smaller or more obscure sizes in men's stuff, especially. But I picked this up again at a local Goodwill, so I think they were $10.99, so like $11. I ended up selling for 112 on Poshmark, and after fees, I made 87.58. So yeah, those were my best sales from last month. I think it ended pretty well, but again, I didn't have a lot of sales in general. Fingers crossed that at least these next couple of weeks before I go home for the holidays to Connecticut, that things pick up. And yeah, I hope you guys are having a great time sourcing and selling, and I will see you guys all in my next video. Bye!